Hi there, and welcome to your tea kit. My name is Becca, and I am the owner of Studio Blinn and the creator of these ritual kits, Muder, and that means mother in Swedish. And my father was Swedish, and he was the artist in the family, and so it's kind of a nod to him and my way of saying thanks to my grandmothers. And like a gentle mother, I'll guide you through these different rituals back to self. And the first kit I've come up with is the tea ritual kit, which if you're watching this video, you're either interested in it or you've purchased one. And if you haven't, there's a little button there to purchase one. And each season, and this is based on the traditional Chinese medicine theme of 5 seasons, I'll release a new cup that will also have the tea pet and little bonuses. But every month I'll be providing a guide that will have different themes and different things to think about that you can use with your tea kit, just the first one. Or if you want, you can purchase them all. I'll have sometimes a couple per season available, but I want to keep this video very simple for you to show that sometimes the simplest rituals are the most meaningful. And with this kit, it has all the basics that you'll need to start your very own ritual. And you can take it as in-depth or keep it as simple as you'd like. And my way of approaching it is day to day. Sometimes I've got about 2 seconds. I'm a busy mom. But I really find that if I take the time every day to make that space for myself, it really carries through my day and helps me draw strength when things sometimes don't go as I guess that I would have liked. Or sometimes I'll do this in the middle of the day when I've got a moment I need to re-energize or reset. And then some of my favorite times are in the evening, where it's quiet, everybody's in bed, and I take the time to really digest everything that's gone on through my day before laying down, which often is where my brain goes through all the thoughts and I don't sleep as well, and this helps. So the first thing I'm going to do is walk us through what's in your kit, and then I will guide you through the actual process of a simple ritual. And then later on, I'll be posting more videos incorporating different things that I add into my rituals, and also different ways to approach it. So let's get started. Okay, so now I'm going to walk you through exactly what is inside each of these kits. Every season will be a new kit that will have a new cup, a new tea pet, and some new fresh goodies in it. And each month I'll be posting new themes, new mantras, new ways to continue your ritual throughout the year. But so essentially there will be 5 cups every year, and 5 tea pets. And then sometimes there'll be some bonus months where I'll let you know when those are available. So you've got your kit. Inside of your kit, you will open it up and you will find this little card, and on it is a QR code. And so you're going to scan that, and then you're going to go down to the month that you would like to know a little more about. Each season has its own theme. If it's not calling to you, go to one that interests you. But for now, I'll walk us through December's winter theme. That's the kit I'm holding right now. So you'll scan this, and inside here you'll find a handmade cup and each cup has a reason behind it. So like this is called it's inspired by the Tsutsugara, which the cup itself was made longer, and it also has a foot to keep your drink warmer through the colder months. I talk about when you go onto this website and look at the information, I'll talk about the clay body that I chose for this specific cup. I'll talk about the glaze. This one I have a video of my family and I making the glaze. It's actually from the cedar, the ash of a cedar tree, and it was a really beautiful process. So something I really like to think about with this is that this isn't just a cup, it's an actual experience. There was a lot of thought and love that went into the making of each and in every single one of these. So you have your cup, you will have a tea strainer, and I will guide you through making a tea blend, which on the little themes, you'll see I've listed a tea blend and why, so that we can make one together. You'll find a little tea light. I think having all the elements around is pretty important when I do a ritual. And so having a little flame really helps to hold the space. And so I've included a tea light. You will also find a tea pet within your kit. And this month is the cozy kitty who is sleeping by the fire. And it really relates to the theme of December, which is hygge and this idea of coziness and comfort. And so you have your tea pet. You'll have a stone. This one is turquoise, and it is the one of the December birthstones. And again, I like bringing in elements of nature into ritual. I think it's really important that we remember we're all part of this. We're to honor all the plants and minerals around us, and it helps me to feel connected and grounded in a space of meditation or ritual. So this is the turquoise. I always include a little bit of plant matter. This one specifically is from the cedar tree from our yard, and it's you'll see this theme of December winter has a lot to do with the cedar. I've included as a bonus in this kit a trinket bowl, and this was pressed from the cedar. That's that beautiful texture you see in the yard. And so this is actually a wonderful place to put. I've included Palo Santo in this kit, and when you have lit it, this is a nice little space to place it. And the kitty likes to be cozy next to her little fire. And let's see. And then I've also included this sweet little haiku that my good friend and acupuncturist Sally wrote for each of the colored cups. So in your kit, you'll find you either have a red cup, a Shino cup, or a green, or also a turquoise. And so she was so wonderful and wrote a haiku for each of the cups. And this one, for the red, is plumes of swirling smoke adorn the living altar, realm of heart fire song. And so I think that's kind of sweet. And it's also on handmade paper that my daughter and I make. That's a whole nother conversation and story. But I have a book, Gathering the Moon, that's all about paper creation and tuning into the cycles of nature and making paper out of it. You can find that also on my website. So here are the pieces of the kit. And now I will guide you through one of the rituals. And we're going to keep it very simple. I think it's the first time you do it, just keep it simple. Or maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you want to go all out, and that is wonderful too. This is your ritual. But so next I am going to guide us through the theme of this one and doing a simple ritual. Okay, so you've scanned your little card and you've discovered the tea blend, which is towards the bottom. And for this example for December, I've chosen some nourishing herbs, some warming herbs, and some heart opening herbs to really ground you down into these winter months and create this idea of coziness and comfort. And so what I do is I like to lay them out and give a little thanks to each of the plants that these came from. And then I take a little, so we've got right here is chamomile, and I just think it smells so good. Oh, you get a little empty container and you'll take each of these little herbs and you'll place them in. I like to always also look at them and honor them. I put on these tiny little trays that I've made, and you can find those for sale on my website as well. So you'll get each of these, put them in. We've got chamomile, we've got tulsi, which is just an amazing smell. My friend Chelsea grew this in her garden. We've got cardamom pods, which are just this, it just reminds me of the winter months of different baked goods. We've got rose hips, and then I prefer fresh ginger in my blends. You're welcome to do dry, whatever's available or easy. And you can also make large batches of this. You can do this individually, whatever you have time for, whatever is calling you. For me, it just depends. So throw a little fresh ginger, and then this is cinnamon bark. So I just kind of break it up and get it in there. I love the taste of cinnamon. It's very warming, it's nourishing. And again, like that cardamom, it's just a very comforting smell. And so you'll just take this, if this I can't find the lid to this. I have a 2- and 4-year-old, so I can't find the lids to many things. So you could lid it and shake it up. I am just gonna mix it up like so. And then you would take your handy dandy strainer, and you can, either if it was wide enough, kind of like eat it up, or you can open it and go ahead and place a little bit in here, and you'll probably lose a little bit in the midst, but it's a great ratio for a nice cup of tea. So I like to get it nice and full and then get those edges, and then ta-da, you have your tea in your tea strainer ready to go. Okay, so you've got your tea blend. You want to have somewhere to set the space. My go-to space is in my bedroom. I have a little spot that I do most of my meditation and rituals in. It's comforting to me. It's my go-to. My daughter often joins me. She sleeps in our bed quite often, and she'll wake up to me doing my little ceremony, and it's very sweet. She has her own little tea situation, and she loves to come join me, so it's actually a very nice tradition that I'm creating with my daughter. But so you want to have a base, and find a space where you can have just a couple minutes of quiet to do this. For me right now, we're moving into December, and December is all about my dad for me. He was born in December, and he has passed away, and so I think about him often and like to incorporate him into my practice. And so this is his suitcase from when he was in college, and he was born in 42. So this was probably the late 50s was when he had this suitcase, and so it's got a lot of beautiful energy and memories in it. So you start with your base. Something I recommend for the first couple times is go ahead and pull up that screen that has the December 2025 or whatever theme you're in. For this recording, it is based around December and the theme of Hygge, and have that pulled up just so you can maybe draw from some of those elements while you're sitting in your first couple rituals. And so one of the ways I like to set my space up is to draw on the directions and how they associate with the elements. And so south is traditionally the element of fire, and so we have this little tea light, and south is here in where I'm sitting, and then west is for water, and this cup will be holding our water, our tea element, so I would place that over here. I like to think of the plants growing from the earth, and so I often place them to the north, which is the element of earth, and then to the east is this element of air. And for me, I think of this Palo Santo. When I light it, there will be smoke. It's very clear, and it's very easy to see when it's not clear, and that smoke reminds me of the air and of spirit, and so I like to place that one to the east, and then something in the center. This can be, maybe you want to really draw on this idea of this turquoise and the qualities that it stands for. You could place that in the center. I really love that Sally wrote these haikus, and so I will place that with this stone at the center for this specific ritual, because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel cozy and comforted, which is this theme. And so once you have your altar feeling good, and again, we're keeping it very simple. Down the line, I will keep doing these videos and showing you different ways to incorporate different elements, different stones, different cards, different memories. I mean, there's so many things you can do with an altered space. So many that I have a lot of kits that revolve around it. And so you're welcome to, I also find nature, going out in nature, I always find things I want to add to it. But also I do have elements available for purchase online that when you're ready or you want to draw on something different, you can find those on the Mudare. Click on Mudare and it will show you the different options there. So you've got your setting. You want to make sure you've got some water available. Again, this one's very simple. You could use a pot of water and put it in a thermos and pull it. Like you don't even need a teapot for this. Again, I'll show you different ways to approach it. I do love a good teapot, and often we'll do 3 pours, and there's a lot of meaning behind the element of 3, of this harmony and stability. But for this round and this intro to setting yourself up for ritual, I am just going to do this simple 1 pour, show you that you can do this in just a few minutes every day. And if you do this, I promise you, it will start to really change your life and change just the way that you approach things. It won't change that things happen to us in life. That's how life is. But it will give you the strength and the knowledge that you really can take on everything and anything, and that how powerful you are. So the first thing I always do when I start, and remember, you've got your cheat sheet over here, you'll have it pulled up, so if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what to think or what to do, it's over, have it pulled up. But the first thing I like to do is I light a candle for Mama Earth to give thanks for all she provides and does. Without Mama Earth, we wouldn't be here. And so I light a candle to give thanks. The next phase is I always light an herb. I've included Palo Santo for you. You can read in online. I've included a little bit about it and the meaning behind it. And this has been ethically sourced from a few different shops in Asheville, and that's all on the website. And so I give thanks to ancestors and to some of the gods and goddesses that have meaning to me. And so I will go ahead and light this and show you how I would do this. So I give thanks to all the gods and goddesses and the ascended masters, Isis and Hathor, Green Tara, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, and the Great White Buffalo Woman. I give thanks to the fairies and the gnomes, the flora and the fauna. I give thanks to my past lives and to my guides and the angels and archangels. I give thanks to all those who have come before and have yet to come. I give thanks to my grandmothers, to Mare and Sybil, and to the Jeans. I give thanks to my friends who have transitioned and who I know are with me now and always, and to my father. I love you. And I love to take a moment to watch this smoke. There's some traditions that say the smoke will leave messages from spirit that wishes to be here. And so I give that a moment to just seep in and really tap into all the senses, the smell. I love the sound of it. You could hear it when it was burning and watching it. And so when you're done with this, you'll set it down safely on something like the trinket bowl. The next step is I give a little nod to the spirit who I've invited to tea. And with the winter theme, it is about this cozy kitty and this idea of nourishment and comfort and taking the time to go inward during these quiet months. And so she is sitting here with me, and it's something I'll think about also when I pour this tea. So you take your tea, you place it in your cup, and then you carefully pour this hot water onto your blend. And then you can give it a little swoosh if you wish. But you just really need to let it sit there. And at this moment, this is a great opportunity, since you have that little guide pulled up, to maybe go through and say, gosh, you know, I really want to get to know this mantra. So I'll take a moment to go over the mantra in my mind while this sits for, 3 to 6 minutes while it steeps. And so you would sit, and this mantra is, I breathe in coziness, I exhale peace, I savor the simple joys, embracing the warmth around me. I love placing a hand on my heart and one on my stomach. As I sit in here, it's these spaces of comfort and this place of holding. And now that your tea has steeped, you're going to go ahead and you can place this. You could bring another tray out because if you want, but for now, what I'll do is I'll add this to our little tray, just so you know you have everything you need in this kit for your simple ritual. And then something I love to do is take a little bit of this tea and offer it to your tea pet and say, give a little thanks to her for sitting in ceremony with you and joining you. And some of the tea pets are not glazed, and that is purposeful. The tea pets will change color and develop as you sip different teas with them. And so it's kind of a sweet way to watch them evolve over time. And so when you take your tea, to really bring this to a level of ritual and meditation, you want to take the time to notice your cup. Maybe you notice that the lining of your cup is white, which is very in contrast to the bright color outside of it. And this is intentional. If you ever wish to dive into tea readings, it's helpful to have a light colored cup so that you can see your tea leaves. Maybe you notice the texture. You want to go through the senses. So what do you smell? I immediately smell the cinnamon and the cardamom pods. What do you hear around you? Right now I hear the fire crackling behind me, and I hear our fish tanks, water flowing. And I feel the warmth of the cup in my hand, and I feel these beautiful textures. This is one of my loves of ceramic, is the textures. I see the steam coming from the cup. And then I'll dive into the taste. But not after taking one more smell of this beautiful blend. And really take a moment to feel the warmth go into your being. Think about all the different herbs that grew and offered these medicinal qualities for you. This is just such a nice moment to give gratitude and thanks for all the things that nourish us and are providing without, we often don't take the time to think about that and all the different qualities behind each of these herbs, meaning, they provide coziness or comfort, or some tea blends are uplifting or they invoke memories for us. Like for me, that cinnamon and cardamom is baking with my mom in the kitchen. So sit with that for as long as you have. And if it's only a minute or two, that's fine too, because I have mornings like that where I have got to go and have things. But take this time. I love to see all the little herbs that float around, and I do like to think about maybe their little messages. The first time I sat in ceremony with my friend Chelsea, I kid you not, the leaves turned into a smiley face. And my dad, he would stamp things with a smiley face. He would, and I knew that was his, that he had left me a book or something. It would have his stamp in it. And So now when I see smiley faces, I think of him, and the tea leaves, they had formed a smiley face, and it was exactly what I needed that day. And because I took that time to do that for myself, I felt this greater connection to my dad, and it was a nice deep breath for me. And so I recommend it. On one of these tea Tuesdays, I'll be having someone come in and do some tea readings with us. It's not I am just learning. So actually, I'm always just learning. I feel like every day I wake up and there's something brand new to learn more about. But yes, so I'll sit and drink this tea. And then when you're done, you can just place it down and just savor for one more second this moment and giving gratitude to yourself for taking the time for yourself. You deserve this. We all do. And I am just so excited to share this journey with you. Follow me on YouTube. I am regularly posting different things that are going on in my ceramic studio. Tuesdays, I'll be sharing tea with you. If you're in the Asheville area, come visit, come have tea with me. I would love to sit in ceremony with you. Don't forget to blow out your candle. I always give another thanks to Mama Earth. I remember a while back learning that fire doesn't like to be blown out, so I always take my fingers, wet it, and put it out that way. Take another moment with that beautiful smoke. And again, thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm very available to guide you through finding yourself, feeling back at home again. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, afternoon, evening. Thank you so much. Hi again. So one last thing before you go that I wanted to mention is finding the time for yourself. And what does that look like? Because everybody's schedules are different. I don't set a specific time for myself because every day for me is different, and I find that if I set myself up, I gotta do it first thing in the morning. If I don't do it first thing in the morning, then I feel guilty or bad or something about it the rest of the day. And so I give myself grace of saying, do your best to sit at some point. Have this cup with you anywhere, have a little tea blend in your thing, ready to go. I mean, it's so compact. Don't feel like you have to have all the things to take a moment for yourself. As I mentioned previously, I sometimes do it in the afternoon, like when my kids are napping, or in the evening. I find that that's a really sweet spot for me. I like the evening ritual. I do a specific evening blend, which I will talk you through, that really has elevated my dreams, and that's a whole nother conversation. But one of the things also that has helped me, and I've added it to the December 2025, or when you go to your themes, this one specifically I'll be talking about is December 2025. You'll go through your theme, the clay, and then there's a section you'll find that's called tuning in. And this talks about the moon phases, specifically the full and the new moon. And I know a lot of people just, it's a little bit hippy dippy or not maybe it's not what resonates with you, but why I've included this is because for me, it helped me to find time for myself 2 times a month. That I went a little extra, where I I do I take a moment for myself every day with my tea and to give gratitude. I do these mantras, I do these themes, I do the journals. That's why I've created this kit, is because it really has changed my life personally. But twice a month, take time for yourself to zhuzh it up, like set out something that's important to you, like this, my father's suitcase. Take the time to light the Palo Santo, light the candle, sit in a meditation for, set aside 20 minutes to really, minimum for this. And the new and full moon, for me, it's a time counter. So I know at the full moon, like, I also do believe in the energies that pulls from. I love the astrology that's associated with it, and I've included that for you. Take it or leave it. Any of these things, that is, the whole point is this is your ritual, your experience. But for me, it really helps me know that at the new and full moon, there's been 2 weeks that's passed. I need to set aside that extra time to really dive a little deeper, sit with a journal, which for me is a little challenging. That's not my go-to, and so I'm working on that, to really go through and answer some of these questions, and taking the time for yourself. And so in the tuning in section, you will see a little bit of what some cultures call the new or the full moon. And like January, it's the wolf moon, and we'll talk about a theme, hungering like the wolf. And I just love tuning in that way, so it helps to guide me to know that I've set aside that time. And this started a long time ago, but really I dived in when I was a new mom. I felt a little bit isolated. I was new in the area of Asheville, and I made sure that I got outside. I do paper making, and so my daughter and I would go forage for plants and materials on the new and full moon, and we'd make paper from the materials we found, and that helped me to find a moment of presence, to take that extra time for myself and that connection at that time with my daughter. And that it sometimes surprised me that 2 weeks would go between where I hadn't taken the time to take a deep breath or take a moment. And so that's one of the reasons. I just wanted to point that out in there. And again, take it or leave it. This is your ritual. This is your space. So yes, and if you have any questions at all about any of this, please message me. I am very available to guide you through this. And yes, I hope that you are able to find at least those 2 days a month for yourself, whatever that means. Sometimes like the 1st and the 15th work really well. Just to say, these are the days that I'll do this, or you find the rhythm that works for you, but do set aside at least a couple days of a month for yourself. Okay, I hope you're having a wonderful moment, a wonderful day, and we will connect soon.